Illnesses exist on a low frequency. When we consume low vibrational foods, we lower our frequency to match the illnesses. If you have something wrong with your body, it's more than likely that you have an acidic-based environment. Bacteria can thrive in an acidic-based environment. We need to raise our frequency and turn to the alkaline environment in order to heal our body. If I have anything wrong with my body, I'll do 2 weeks with one fruit to cleanse the digestive system. Then I'll go on a fast, only consuming water and herbal teas. When your digestive system is inactive, the energy used to digest food can be used to heal the body. Mother Nature provides you with everything to survive and thrive, and the king knows this. Veganism rearranged is saving me, because when you consume meat, you are consuming adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is the blood from a petrified, slaughtered being. It contains fear hormones. You descended from spirit to matter. Now you need to climb the stairway to heaven, which is your spine, and go from matter to spirit. The chakras are not what you think. They are 7 vortexes which our consciousness feeds energy into our physical body. You have a mental, astral, etheric, and physical body. They exist within the etheric plane, which binds your spirit to your physical form. Hence why in the Bible they are known as the 7 seals. It states the Lamb is worthy of opening the 7th seal, because the Lamb is Aries, and Aries rules the head region to open the 7th seal, the 7th chakra. They're called the 7 seals because they seal your invisible consciousness. Heaven is even. This is why Jesus is pointed at the heart chakra, which is the balance point. When your vortexes are balanced, you have a deeper connection with your universal intelligence. Your higher self will have an easier job manifesting itself throughout the body. The world is stuck in the lower 3 energy centers, lust, food, and power. Instead, we want to aim to use the higher parts of the body, expression, intuition, and wisdom. Veganism rearranged is saving me, because consuming electrical foods feeds your spirit, which is your spiral, your spiraling electromagnetic field, because you're a biological battery, hence why you get charged in a court. Every cell in your body every 90 days transforms into the foods that you've been eating. Consumption of rotten flesh has no electromagnetism behind it. The fruit is electric and full of light. Lions' intestines are shorter. Our teeth are not made to rip open flesh. Meat-eating animals only live up to 15 years. Vegan animals live up to 40 years. Why do you think the Bible talks about humans living over 500 years? All of the geniuses of the past were all vegan. Humans possess a trichromatic vision, which means we are pretty much attracted to seek colors naturally, because our brains are wired to seek colorful food. Each animal and every being has specific qualities in its DNA. For example, bears are ferocious and strong. Camels have the ability to walk thousands of miles, and cats are majestic and sneaky. When you eat these animals, you are eating the virtues of that animal. You literally are what you eat. Meat is flesh, cheese is rotten milk, and eggs are fetuses. These terms have been created to conceal the true nature of what you are actually consuming. Stop eating when the sun is setting. When you chew until it becomes a liquid. Your digestive system can't digest chunks of food. The sun powers your digestive system and your body. When the sun is not present and you eat something, this is going to cause problems within your digestive system. Stop mixing foods. Mixing animal flesh with potato and bread will cause the food to solidify within your stomach, leading to constipation and the birth of parasites within your body. Acne is undigested food coming through your skin. The digestive system cannot digest all of the toxins, so it has to find a way out, and it comes through the skin. Your cells are electric, your brain is electric, your central nervous system is electric, and you are electromagnetic. The body runs off electricity. It is an electrical machine. Therefore, your body and your cells needs to be charged by electric food, which is grown under the electric sun. Sun's rays crystallize within the food that is grown underneath the sun. This is why you can see the glowing aura of an apple compared to a slice of flesh. This is dead. You do not want dead things within your body. It will not charge you. Your teeth are not made to rip open flesh. Veganism rearranged is saving me. And your intestines are not like a lion's or a dog's. All the legends in the past knew this, and this is why they were all vegan. The number one mistake that you make is that you think they wear jewelry just because they are rich. Firstly, the crowns are made out of gold and other gemstones like crystals, which all contribute to amplifying the frequency of your energetic field. Usually they wear purple to symbolize royalty. They wear this on the head because the head is connected to your crown chakra, your highest state of consciousness, which is purple. A lot of ancient cultures used to be decked out in jewelry. They used to hold canes with metal on the bottom and the top because the earth produces magnetic energy, and by grounding, you are actually amplifying your field. When the body is producing a high frequency because of the amplified field, they would be able to sync up with a higher consciousness. This is why you should fill your spaces with precious metals and crystals, because the atoms that create these metals and gemstones are resonating on a high frequency. I have a few of these orgonite technology necklaces left. If you want one, the link is in the bio. Stars are portals that lead into the astral plane. This is why the word astral has star within it. As above, so below. Whatever happens in the astral happens in the physical. It's a mirror. And this is why the Masons have the two pillars. It represents the number 11. As above, so below. The mirroring effect of reality. And this is why astrology is so important, because it can foretell the future. The Bible even says this, and let there be light in the firmament of the heaven, and let them be for signs. This is why God says in Job, can you lead forth the Mazzaroth, which means 12 signs? Do you know the audience of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? The stars foretell the future on the earth. They rule over the earth. Above your head is a giant clock which foretells everything you need to know. A month is a month because the moon travels around the 12 signs every 28 days. The sun tells the time of day. Stars foretell the time of year. Every single one of you is born into a specific alignment into the stars and planets. This is why everyone is different, and this is why everyone is on a different path. By finding out your personal chart, you can figure out certain events in your life. If you want a reading, you can now get them on my website. The link is in the bio. The Jordan River is your spine. The 7 lamps in the Bible are the 7 chakras. Your brain's the Garden of Eden. The pineal gland is the throne of God and the gateway to heaven. The Pope's staff represents the spine and the 2 kundalini channels and the pineal gland. Salvation is salt. The brain produces a salt, a fluid which goes down the spine, which you must resurrect through your erectional energy back to the head, which is resh in Hebrew for head. By following the word of God, following your inner guide, you save your salt and you raise it. Once you do this, you then have the key into the kingdom of heavens, the realms beyond the physical, to access the dimensions within your mind. Also the Holy Grail, or the power symbol. In the Vatican, you have the pine cone, and this is the head. Is the Pope holding the pine cone. We are all God. There is no God outside of you. Everything is God. All religions were made to make you look outside yourself so that you can become powerless. All religions are corporations. It's all a scam to keep you asleep. Head is heaven, heel is hell. If your life is governed by power, food and lust, you're in hell. You have 3 brains, the gut, the heart and the brain. This is the temple of the Holy Spirit. This is the temple of God. God is consciousness. Now, if your consciousness is operating its life out of the gut region, you're in hell. Your life should be operated from the heart and the head. Matthew 6:10. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Your heart and brain are directly connected. Every thought you think in the brain produces an emotion felt in the heart. Whatever happens in heaven happens on earth. Heart rearranged is earth. Masons stand on the divided checkered board. This represents division because you have 2 heels. This is division, hell. You have 1 head. This is evenness, oneness, singularity. Heaven is even. This is why the Baphomet is male and female. Up and down, representing division. Matthew 18:9. It is better for you to enter life with 1 eye than have to have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fire of hell. We need to balance the 2 hemispheres of the brain, balance the 7 energetic vortexes along our spine, and balance our spiritual and physical side of our beings. Nor shall they see here or see there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Do not look outside of you, do not look here or there. The God is within you, people. Luke 17:21. Religion is a scam. Jesus' life is a process that happens in the body. A sacred fluid is produced in the colostrum in the brain. When the moon enters your zodiac sign, the fluid comes down the spine to your sacrum bone, which is Jesus coming down from heaven to earth. The oil stays in the sacrum bone, which is Jesus dying for 3 days in the cave. If you preserve this oil by having an alkaline diet and saving your you-know-what energy, by activating the kundalini, you raise the oil back to the pineal gland, which electrically charges the phytoluminescent crystals on the pineal gland and turns on 100% of the brain. Unless you are born again, you cannot see the kingdom of God. You are born again by activating 100% of the brain. When you raise the oil up the 33 vertebrae on the back of your spine, which is the 33 years of Christ. Jesus was crucified at Golgotha, which translates to a place in the skull. It's an internal process. This is why every religion has a sacred river, because the river is your spinal cord. It's also the stairway to heaven that Jacob saw in Genesis. Hence why he called the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face in Genesis 32:30. Peniel is the pineal gland in the center of the brain, the seat of the mind. This is why Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness in John 3:14. He isn't playing with the snake in the woods, he's raising the kundalini. This is the snake. Jesus dying at 33 is symbolic from turning matter into spirit, turning to your spirit true form. Link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom. Jesus never existed. Jesus symbolizes the sun, with his 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs, 4 gospels for the 4 seasons of the sun. That's why he's called the risen savior, the light of the world, the Son of God. 7 days, 7 planets. They worship their God on Sunday because Jesus is the sun. Easter is actually called the Passover because this is when the sun passes the winter and enters Aries, when the sun springs things back into life, the summer. And this is when they eat lamb, because lamb is Aries, the ram. The sun dies on the Southern Crux constellation, the cross, every year on the 22nd of December. On the 25th of December, it is born again, every year, because it moves 1 degree northward, bringing back the sun to the northern hemisphere. Jesus, the Son, was born a virgin every year, and this is why we celebrate Christmas. Horus, the Egyptian sun god, 12 disciples, born on the 25th, dead for 3 days and resurrected, did miracles and born a virgin. Same with Mithra. Judas stabs Jesus in the back and betrays him. The constellation Scorpio is a J for Judas, and when the sun hits Scorpio, this means the sun is now entering the winter, meaning it's going to die and become dead. So it's betrayed by the Scorpio, the constellation J. Here's Jesus walking on water. It's the sun. Freemasons always place the east at the top of their artwork and the north and south on the sides. This is because they understand the true cosmology of this realm, but you don't. North is the center of this realm. This is where all compasses point to, because the Earth's electromagnetic field and all this energy centers at this point. It's the strongest point. South is anywhere that goes opposite from the center. So if you walk this way, that is south, and that is south, and that is south. West is when you go left around the magnetic pole. This is anti-clockwise. If you were here and started walking west, you would end up in the exact same spot. East is the clockwise turn around the center axis. So if you were here and walked east, you would end up in the exact same position. With that being said, east is the right turn, left is the west turn. They always show the ladder to the east. Why? Because the ladder is your spine, and the east means the right, which is the right hemisphere of your brain. In short, the right hemisphere produces a holistic view of reality. So this sees humanity as one unified consciousness. The left hemisphere breaks this down into individuals. This sees the trees, this sees the whole woods. So when Jesus says cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and you will find fish, this represents cast your awareness into the right hemisphere and you will see the unification of the universe. You will see the higher self. This is the higher self. This is the ego. You will realize everything is connected and everything is all one. Use the code WISE20, all capital letters, for more information. Read this book. You do not see into reality. Light enters the eyes and the image is produced in the visual cortex. The world you see around you is actually within you. You are consciousness experiencing the program being ran by the central nervous system and the brain. There are 2 major systems in the body. The tree of life, the cardiovascular system, giving life to the physical body. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, the nervous system. You do not experience the external world. You experience electrical impulses on your nervous system, which gives your mind, your consciousness, the knowledge of good and evil. You are the temple of Solomon, the temple of the sol and the mon, the sun and the moon, the soul and the mind. The sun is the soul, the moon is the mind. This is why we say lunatic. Luna is moon. And inside of your mind, you have a specific mood, which is moon. The soul system is within you. It's the 7 chakras, the 7 planets. The cycles of the sun being summer and winter happens within the body because you are a miniature world. In the summer, you feel better and you gain better ideas. In the winter, you feel less alive. I am you and you are me. It's a universe, a unite verse. Everything is one. We are all one consciousness, one mind, in separate physical bodies. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. You are not the body, you're the invisible intelligence. If you shut your eyes, you can feel your awareness in the center of the brain. You refer to this being as I. The letter I and the number 1 is one line. Because there is only one, and we are all the one expressed in different bodies. The Egyptians knew this. This is the one giving out the Ankh to all the different life forms. This is why 1 is the only true number. Everything goes up in ones. You look with the 2 eyes, and you see with the inner eye your invisible intelligence. Because the inner eye gives you the perception of what you're looking at. Everything is neutral. Everything is one. It's your mind's perception that gives it a positive or negative charge. Me and you are the exact same consciousness. Why do you think the golden rule is to treat others like you want to be treated? We are all mind. Men means mind in Latin. Jesus was known as the fisher of men. He wasn't fishing men, he was fishing minds. Bright minds that are worthy of knowing the truth. God exists within the highest realm of your being, your mind. If you constantly listen to your God intelligence, which is always telling you the right thing to do, this is how to become closer to God. You need to stop living off the body's desire and turn to the higher self, the higher realms of your mind. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. Turmeric is unhealthy, so is lemon and carrot. These foods were not created by nature. They were created in labs, genetically modified. None of these foods were here on the day of creation, which means they are unnatural to your body. Your body does not know what to do with them. Potato, matoke, and big bananas all contain starch. This will thicken the blood and cause clogs within your digestive system. All the foods that were here in the beginning were all alkaline. Our body needs to be in an alkaline state. When we consume acidic foods, this is when parasites and diseases can thrive. Once you move to the alkaline diet, you will never go back. This human health guide will tell you everything you need to know and everything you need to avoid to maintain optimal health. The solar system is a soul system. We started in the stars, then we incarnated into the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. You descended from spirit into matter. The soul luring system lures your soul deeper into matter, which are the lower 3 chakras. You are the mind and soul, not the physical body. If you die and your mind is still attached to these worldly physical things, you will want to reincarnate here. The body corresponds with the higher and the lower self. You need to get out of power, food, and you know what, into the higher chakras, so that your mind is not attached to the worldly things when you die from here. This is why they get you so addicted to clothes and all of these physical things. The fast food restaurants are red, orange, and yellow because they keep you here. You need to connect with your true divine self, which is inside of the pineal gland. This is the Holy Grail, your neck and head, because the Holy Grail out of the physical world and ascension is connecting with your true consciousness form. You need to be united, not divided. You need to turn the masculine and feminine energies into balance, because heaven has the word even in it. You have to become even because your consciousness has no gender. The devil is the deveil. You deveil yourself by having these mental addictions to the worldly things. The soul luring system is inside of you. You have to deveil yourself out of the 7 seals in the Bible. The 7 seals are the 7 chakras because they seal your true self. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. Jesus' death on a cross is metaphorical for us falling from the higher planes of consciousness into a material plane. We sacrificed all of the higher planes of consciousness only to experience the thin visible spectrum of light. This is the first dimension, the second dimension, and the third, length, height, and width. The cube is what gives birth to the material plane. So we are in the cube. This is up, down, front, back, left, and right. This is why the Jews wear the cube and the Mecca cube, and there are cubes all around the world. Cube unfolded is the cross, which is the Jesus cross, the body. because our consciousness died when it came here because we suffered a loss of the higher planes of consciousness. The universe is created out of light. Low vibrating light turns into matter. High vibrating matter turns back into light. We are human. Hu means light. Man is manifested. We are light manifested into matter. The Bible says we're born into sin. Sin is sign, which is time, because we're born into a material plane where time exists. However, the elites worship the material world. They want to rule the material world and keep your mind stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they teach you this and evolution. And this is why they give you the false atom. They've trapped your mind in materialism because they've taught you that the universe is only physical.
Stop wearing glasses. The longer you wear glasses and cover up your eyes, the thicker your glass gets because your eyes become worse. Your brain will adapt to the new thickness of the lens and the eye will start to work less. Your eyes are muscles. You need to train them to become stronger. You're blocking the sun's rays from getting into the eyes. Whatever is in your visual field goes into the brain, and then the brain will then affect the central nervous system. So whatever you see is having an effect on your whole body. This is why they don't want you looking at the sun anymore, because the sun's rays can actually heal the eyes and heal the body. This is why they promote sunglasses, because sunglasses block the sun from entering into your eyes and awakening your pineal gland and stimulating the body's electrical nervous system. So when you watch the solar eclipse tomorrow, you don't need to wear glasses, just watch it with your eyes.
Jesus' death on a cross is metaphorical for us falling from the higher planes of consciousness into a material plane. We sacrificed all of the higher planes of consciousness only to experience the thin visible spectrum of light. This is the first dimension, the second dimension, and the third, length, height, and width. The cube is what gives birth to the material plane. So we are in the cube. This is up, down, front, back, left and right. This is why the Jews wear the cube and the Mecca cube, and there are cubes all around the world. Cube unfolded is the cross, which is the Jesus cross, the body, because our consciousness died when it came here because we suffered a loss of the higher planes of consciousness. The universe is created out of light. Low vibrating light turns into matter. High vibrating matter turns back into light. We are human. Hu means light. Man is manifested. We are light manifested into matter. The Bible says we're born into sin. Sin is sign, which is time, because we're born into a material plane where time exists. However, the elites worship the material world. They want to rule the material world and keep your mind stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they teach you this and evolution. And this is why they give you the false atom. They've trapped your mind in materialism because they've taught you that the universe is only physical.
Reptilians do not exist. It is metaphorical for using the reptilian part of our brain. The 3 parts of the brain correspond with the 3 parts of the body. If you're operating your life out of your gut, you're in hell, which is the reptilian animal state. Osiris represents the reptilian brain. This is why he's green. Top half of the body is the higher self. The lower half of the body is the lower self. If you're operating your life out of these lower 3 centers, this is hell. Instead, you want to use the higher brain, the neocortex, where critical thinking and rationality takes place. This is why Neo from the Matrix is called Neo, because he awakens and uses his higher brain. The devil and the angel on your shoulder is an internal battle between your higher and lower self. The devil has goat horns, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is a higher animal, which represents the higher self. Jesus and Satan, Horus and Set, the higher self and the lower self. Religion has externalized the truth so that you believe Jesus and Satan are outside of you. This is done so that you do not transmute all of the negative parts of yourself into positive and become the God.
13 is not unlucky. They made you scared. 13 adds up to 4. The number 4 is your fourfold nature: mental, emotional, etheric, and physical. 4 seasons of the yearly cycle. 4 gospels. The cross is the 4. Jesus has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. He is the 13th because it represents human consciousness. We are all the universe experiencing itself. We are all Christ. We are all God. The 12 zodiacs go around us because they are the energies that influence our mind, body, and spirit. 13 is not an evil number. The word sacred is scared because they want you scared of the sacred things so that you do not do your research. The Bible is filled with cryptograms, metaphors, allegories, and astrological codes. Jesus is not God. We should not worship God. We should become the God self, the best version of ourselves. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Sex is sacred energy exchange. S is the serpent. The most powerful emotion a human can feel is the sexual desire. Serpent symbolizes sexual energy, which are the two kundalini channels which go up from the base of the spine to the brain. Tree of knowledge of good and evil is the brain, the spine, the two hemispheres of the brain, masculine and feminine, and the serpent is the kundalini sexual energy. The serpent is tempting you to release your sacred energy, which is the forbidden fruit the serpent tempted Eve to eat. Resurrection of Jesus is metaphorical. Res meaning head, erection is sexual stimulation. The resurrection is raising the sexual energy from the base of the spine to the brain, the pineal gland. This then gives you the ability to use 100% of the brain. You can transmute this energy into critical thinking or awakening your third eye. We have all been sexually programmed since we were young because they are trying to reverse the genders. When a male releases, his estrogen levels go up. When a female releases, their testosterone goes up. Hence why the LGBT flag is the upside down colour spectrum. Red should be first, it's the lowest vibrational colour. Ancient mythology, there's always stories about killing the dragon or the serpents. This is symbolic for killing the lower nature of yourself because the serpent is always tempting you to release your sexual energy. It's an internal battle. Physical versions of the Book of Wisdom are now available. The link is in the bio to get. What you will see here is the etheric energy blueprint behind an object. Even though a section have been cut off, the energy body is still present. This is why when people lose their limbs, they can still feel it present, because the etheric body can never be broken. This proves that we are not the body. You are the spirit inside of the body. If you don't believe me, you can literally do this exercise yourself to activate your bodies. This is called astral projection. It's using your mind to project your consciousness into the astral plane, the realm of imagination. This was talked about in the Bible when Jesus walks on water. It's a metaphor for astral projection. The water is the ether, the barrier between the physical and the spiritual planes. Before you do this, you need to make sure you're in a good, high vibrational mindset. Whatever frequency you are vibrating on, you will match within the astral planes. For example, if you are vibrating very low, you will meet beings, entities that are vibrating very low. This is what we call demons. Once you are in the right mindset, you need to lie down flat with no body parts touching. Rest every single muscle and be still as possible. Close your eyes, breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Focus your attention on the center of the brain, the place of the consciousness. You need to do this for at least 10 to 15 minutes until you are just left with an empty mind. Now you want to use your mind to imagine yourself pulling a rope up into the sky. Imagine yourself floating above your body. One thing that you must never do if you do successfully astral project is never look into the mirrors. The planets are not spinning balls in space. They are lights within the firmament. 7 planets give you the 7 days of the week. The Sunday for the sun, Saturn day for Saturn, Monday for moon. The physical world is made out of low vibrating light. 7 metals are the 7 planets. When the light of the 7 planets materialize, they give you the 7 metals. This is why they have the same symbol. They are actually 7 cosmic energetic bodies which influence our consciousness directly. All religions can trace back to the worship of the stars and the planets. The Jewish 7-branched candlestick are the 7 planets. The 7 archangels in the Book of Enoch are the 7 planets. Revelation 1:12, the 7 stars are the 7 angels of the churches. Elohim is plural, and in the Bible it says, "Then the Elohim said, let us make humans in our image after our likeness." We are made in the image of the stars and the 7 planets. They are not planets, they are 7 cosmic energies that give us the understanding and the ability to function in this reality. Job 38:32, can you lead forth the Mazzaroth in its season? Do you know the audience of the heavens? Mazzaroth means 12 signs, meaning the 12 zodiac signs. The stars are the start of the solar system, not solar system. And we descend from the stars into the 7 planets, which give us the 7 energy centers in the body. You can repost my content and gain 50% commission. Send your email into the Telegram group. The link is in the bio for this PDF. Pineapple is man-made, acidic. Pears are alkaline. Apples, alkaline, do not use the shiny ones, they are waxed. Instead, use the non-shiny. Seeded dates are alkaline. Big bananas are man-made, full of starch, acidic. If the oranges have seeds, alkaline. Cherries are alkaline. Strawberries, alkaline. Dragon fruit, acidic, man-made. Pomegranate is harmful, it's acidic, it's man-made. Seedless watermelons, acidic, man-made. Figs, alkaline. Papaya, alkaline. Bell peppers, alkaline. Garlic is toxic, acidic. Lettuce, acidic. Cucumber, alkaline. Tomatoes, alkaline, very high in iron. Gain the ability to shop with precision for products and foods that are beneficial for the human body. This human health guide grants you a key to revitalize your body and bring about the feeling of happiness and well-being. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Heel is hell, the root chakra. Head is heaven, earth rearranged is heart. The three parts of the brain control the three sections of the body. Depending on which brain is dominant, you are either manifesting heaven or hell. If you're thinking with your gut area all the time, you are manifesting hell. The devil has goat features, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is an air animal. The angel is your higher self, the devil is the lower self. Hence why the devil is red, because red is the lowest vibrational colour. The devil is the deveiling, because you are mental, astral, etheric and physical. You are deveiling yourself by sitting in the lower states of consciousness. The body does not live, it is only maintained by the consciousness that is within it. And this consciousness is either operating in hell or heaven, depending on the three brains that you use dominantly. You descended from spirit into matter. Now you need to go back up to your true spirit form and move up the stairway to heaven, which is your spine. They've externalized it and turned it into a religion to hide the true power of yourself. The square symbolizes the physical plane, the triangle is the etheric plane, and the circle is the eternal plane. You need to think outside the box. The box is the cross unfolded, the cube, the physical world. The Christians believe 144,000 will go to heaven. This is actually a frequency you need to achieve to go from the root to the crown chakra, because your head is heaven and your heel is hell. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom PDF. Smelly breath is not natural. Smell is coming from your gut, from the toxic food that you're putting inside of you. Body odor is also the rotten food inside of you coming out of your skin. Every 90 days, every cell in your body is brand new, made from the food that you have put in your body. This is why you are what you eat. And every 2 years, your whole body is brand new. Putting death in your body will result in aging quicker. Putting life in your body is the opposite. The sugar in fruit is not bad for you. You can eat as much as you want. Your bad breath, your body odor, is the rotting food inside of your stomach. You will never get bad breath or body odor with this. And did you know 80% of your immune system resides in the gut? Your gut is a second brain, and every disease is linked to the microbiome in your gut. Every 3 months, you should be cleansing the gut to get rid of all of the excess food that is left over. You can do this by juicing or consuming a fruit-only diet. This will help push out and eliminate any waste foods and toxic mucus within the gut. They keep you stuck in your left hemisphere of the brain. The right hemisphere is to do with creativity, intuition, and visualization. Instead, they want you to think logically and think in materialistic facts. The eyes are a part of the brain. They produce the visual field. The brain then creates the perception of the visual field. For example, if you're in a woods, the right hemisphere sees a holistic view of reality. It sees the woods as one entity. The left hemisphere analyzes and breaks down the perception created by the right hemisphere, meaning it's breaking down the woods into individual trees and branches. So they want you stuck in your left hemisphere so you do not see the connections between the external world and your body and your consciousness. John 21:6, cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and you will find fish. This is symbolic for moving your perception into the right hemisphere of the brain to see a unified perception of reality, to see the links between all things. For example, how you have 5 fingers, 5 points on the body for the 5 elements. In school, you are told to think logically. You're told what to do. You cannot create. You cannot use the right hemisphere. Spotify, Apple Music, and all of the music is tuned to 440 Hertz, which shuts down the right hemisphere of the brain. Your mind is not your brain. The brain's the computer. Your mind's the invisible intelligence controlling the brain. The right hemisphere controls the left eye and the left side of the body. The left hemisphere controls the right side of the body and the right eye. If you want to learn more, the link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. It will show you everything you need to know. Goosebumps are piloerections, which happens when the two hemispheres of the brain are syncing together to create grey matter in the brain, which is the Christos, the kundalini, which goes down the spine. Resurrection. Res is resh, meaning head. Erection is the piloerection. If you cannot create a piloerection by will, you cannot raise your kundalini. If you can generate these goosebumps by will, you will feel a tingling sensation in the brain, which will then spread down the body. Use your mind to focus on this energy, this tingling sensation at the base of the spine, and raise it up to the brain again. You'll then feel your brain become hollow and filled with tingling sensations and light. It's one of the most divine experiences you could ever have. Oh, look at my skin. There's no goosebumps, nothing. This is all clear. Now watch this. This is mental control over the electric nervous system in the brain, sending electrical currents through the body. The tingling sensation you feel is the increase in brain activity. If you can't do it by will, you can practice this because it is a muscle. You can use frequencies as well to activate them. And when you feel the tingling sensation coming, you need to hold on to it and raise it from the base of the spine up to the brain. The ego is your mind's perception of yourself while you have been incarnated into a physical body. Who you think you are is basically a bunch of programs that you have created over the years through emotions and repetition of thoughts. You need to understand that the universe is mental. Everything exists within your mind. The mind's the root cause of all things, hence why the word government. They govern your mind. Ment is mind. The programs within your subconscious mind manifest 90% of your behavior, thoughts, and actions on a daily basis. So in order to change your life, you need to access your subconscious mind and rewrite the programs. All of the systems in your body are being ran without your mind being conscious of it. This is because the subconscious mind is controlling all of the heartbeats, the breathing, and the digestive systems. This is how powerful the subconscious mind is. Every thought has an emotion attached to it. The stronger the emotion you feel, the more impression it has onto the subconscious. You reprogram the subconscious through repetition and emotion. If you want to learn more, you can get my book, The Book of Wisdom, or you can get the Manifestation Mastery course in my bio.
Cameras were used in a standard first-grade classroom, and several hyperactive children may be noted, especially the boy in the immediate foreground. 90 days after, the regular cool white fluorescent tubes were replaced with the new type full-spectrum fluorescent tubes with radiation shields. Prior to the time that this new lighting was installed, this particular boy had an extreme learning disability problem, but quickly learned to read within 90 days after the new lights were installed.
They tell you that the planets and the stars are just spinning rocks in space, when in fact they are actually lights within the firmament which affect our consciousness. The experiment you've just seen proves that light affects our actions, thoughts, and emotions. Why do you think you feel so energetic and happy when the sun comes out? The celestial bodies govern the earth and influence consciousness. The Egyptians, Mayans, and ancient Christians all knew the power of astrology. They used astrology to foretell the future and to gain deeper connections with themselves. Why do you think Jesus has 12 disciples, 12 archangels in the book of Enoch, 12 imams of Shia? Because they all represent the 12 zodiac constellations. Even JP Morgan said that millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. When you are born, you are given a celestial blueprint because you were born into a specific alignment in the stars. This blueprint tells you everything about you and your future. If you want to get your most in-depth reading of 350 plus pages, the link is in the bio. There is a hidden meaning behind this symbolism that astronauts do. Warning, this information is not for everyone and your mind might just be altered after watching this. It symbolizes speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. Your external world that you look into is actually truly internal. Light enters the eyes and it goes to the visual cortex at the back of the brain, and this is what produces the image that we see. Light is a form of wave. It is a light wave, and light waves carry information. This information is given to the visual cortex, and then the visual cortex creates the image. The information carried on the wave of light has an effect on your brain and then has an effect on the whole of your central nervous system and your cells. This is why you feel darkness within you when you see something very sensitive. Because what we see, hear, and say has an effect on our whole central nervous system and our cells. So this is why you should never speak, see, or hear no evil. There is a hidden meaning behind Easter. Warning, if you believe in Christianity, you might not believe it after this video. Easter is not the resurrection of Jesus, it's the resurrection of the sun turning into spring. The winter time is symbolized as death because everything dies in the winter. When the sun enters Aries, this is the Lamb, which is the Lamb of God. Everything springs back to life and arises. Aries is an anagram for arise. The Jews call this the Passover because the sun has now passed the winter and entered Aries. This is why they sacrifice the lamb. Aries, the spring, is the true New Year's, and this is when Ramadan is celebrated. Ramadan, Ra, is the Egyptian sun god. As within, so without. What happens outside of you happens within you. You must raise the solar plexus energy to the brain. And this is when you arise to Aries. This then creates the resurrection of Christ, which is Christ consciousness, which is activating the pineal gland to create enlightenment. And this symbolizes your life going from the winter into the summertime, new light, new beginnings. You are born again. The Bible is filled with metaphorical and allegorical stories, and this is why we all need to. The Bible is filled with metaphorical and allegorical stories, and this is why we all need to read it right so that we can gain a deep. Freemasonic compass is a compass and a square. Compass for the circles, the square for the square. Circle is the eternal plane. This is the mind, the soul, the spirit, which is within us, where there is no time, no space, no matter. This is the no beginning, no end. The square has beginning and end. This is the physical plane. This is where material things manifest from the mind, the eternal plane. This is where time, space, and matter and limitations exist. The Leonardo da Vinci Vitruvian Man is showing you the man in the square with the eternal circle outside of the square. The circle, which is the mind, the eternal self, the consciousness, manifests the physical plane. It is circles over squares, which is why the compass is on top of the square. The G is 7, because the 7 planets or spheres of energy manifest this physical material world. This is the generative principle of the 7 planets, the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 diatonic tones, 7 colors. The celestial bodies are spheres, and they rule over the earth, which is astrology. They give their energy to the earth, influencing the earth. The earth is the square. This is spheres over the square. We need to think outside of the box to reach our eternal self, which is mind. The mind is eternal, it is infinite, it has no limitations. Everything can exist in the mind. There is no limitation. This sign is not the devil horns. It's the moon crescent. Moon is mood, which is emotion. The moon crescent on top of the head symbolizes emotion ruling over our mind, our body, our life. Devil is red because the red is the lowest vibrational color. And this is you when you are operating your life in your animal nature. The devil is the ground animal, the lower self. The bird is the angel, which is the higher self. When we see the man standing on the moon, this represents conquering the emotion, and they no longer govern your life. Your emotions change all the time, and this is symbolized as the moon phases. Money rules your emotions, and this is why money has moon within it. A demon is actually your emotions. Lucifer fell from heaven to earth. Lucifer means star. The 5-pointed star is your 5 senses. When your 5 senses rule over your life, this is when you are becoming Lucifer, Satan, or the devil, which is the inverted pentagram. This is spirit on the top. The inverted one is spirit on the bottom, because your spirit is no longer controlling your body. It's being ruled by the lower mind, by the 5 senses and your emotions. God and the devil exist within yourself. It's a battle between your higher mind and lower mind, between the 5 senses and your mind, your consciousness. Religion has externalized the truth, so they keep you in your animal nature. Stop worshipping God, become the God self, because praying is spellcasting. When something goes wrong in your life and you start praying, you're using words to alchemically change your external world. This is a spell, but you are doing it wrong. When you talk, you're creating torus fields, an electromagnetic field, because magic is magnetism, influencing magnetic fields. And you do this every time you talk. However, when you pray from a place of negativity, from a place of suffering, you are sending negative energy out into the ether, and you will get more negative energy back. Instead, you want to pray from a high vibration and believe you already have something. Every word you say is molding and shaping your mind, and your mind is the root cause of your external world. And when people place their hands together to pray, they're actually balancing the two hemispheres of the brain, because they represent the hemispheres of the brain. If you want to protect your electromagnetic field around your body, this EMF technology necklace will help you. The fluids in your body are in a cycle, a rhythm with the moon, because the moon affects the liquids in your body. This is why women have a menstrual cycle, every month. So the full moon is a high energy. This is when the liquids in your body are being pulled the most by the celestial moon. Sun is masculine, the moon is feminine, emotion and intellect. So the emotion is being affected by the moon, which is our mood. So on a full moon, this is when the lunatics come out. When the moon enters the sign that you were born in, your sun sign, a sacred fluid is released from the brain down to the spine, and we must raise this up the 33 vertebrae of our spine to be crucified in the skull, Golgotha. The planets are not physical rocks, they are energies which influence the earth and our bodies, our consciousness. Astrology is so important, and this is why the ancients mapped the celestial constellations. This book has everything you need to know. The link is in my bio. The Book of Wisdom PDF or paperback. Meat is poison. Fruits and vegetables assimilate with your body, meaning they become one with your cells. Illnesses show up in your field before it manifests in your body. Therefore, every illness is a frequency. And this is what quantum healing is. They scan your electromagnetic field and generate a frequency to heal it. Illnesses exist on a low vibration, so when we consume flesh, we are negatively impacting our spirit, our frequency, to match illnesses. When we raise our frequency through positive emotion, thoughts, and eating electrical food which does not run off from you when you try to eat it, this raises your frequency, and then you no longer match the frequency of diseases. Meat might have some nutritious value to your physical body. However, it destroys your spirit. The negative energy the animal was feeling when it was being slaughtered is still within the meat. You have been programmed to consume adrenochrome, which is blood-consuming adrenaline, which is in the meat. It's a psychological warfare. They employ neutral terms to cover up the true meaning of the food, because the words become our reality, our perception. They called flesh meat. They called rotten milk cheese. If you want to upgrade your health, think positive, feel positive, charge your body on the earth every single day, listen to positive frequencies, cut out the demonic music, and eat vegetables and fruits raw. And this, you're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because the heart and the brain are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think creates an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network of 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same ones in your brain. So the heart is your second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause confusion and dualism. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the brain. However, it's a singular organ. It does not have two hemispheres. So when we say follow your heart, this is a deep meaning because the heart has an intelligence of its own which is guiding you. And this is why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. In Freemasonry, the heart is symbolized as the book because the heart intelligence is what you need to read to guide you through this life experience. The heart is what tells you what is right and what is wrong. And when you follow your heart long enough, it takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to listen to your heart intelligence. You have to turn off the thoughts, place your hand on your heart just like Jesus is, and this will tell you the right answer. They don't want us connected to our hearts because we are all an infinite consciousness expressed in different bodies, and love is the unifying force that will bring you. Did you know your heart is not actually a pump? The heart is in the shape of a chestahedron, a seven-sided shape where all of the surface areas are the same. When placing a chestahedron in a box, it sits on an angle of 36 degrees off center. This is the same angle which the heart sits in the chest, hence why it's called a chestahedron. Placing a chestahedron in water creates a vortex in the water, and your heart tissues is in a vortex spiral. Your heart is actually one muscle but wrapped in a spiraling vortex form. This is because your heart is a vortex energy generator. Blood enters the heart and creates a vortex spiral inside of the heart. Your heart turns water in the blood into plasma, the fourth state of water, which they'll never tell you about. Plasma makes up approximately 55% of your blood. The earth is electromagnetic. The reason why heart rearranged is earth is because the heart takes the electromagnetic energy of the earth and turns this into plasma in the blood to run the physical body. Your heart is directly connected to the universe, to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. This is why we always see Jesus pointing at his heart. Your heart is inside of the chest. This is where the treasure is, inside of the heart. Your heart contains 40,000 neurons, which is the exact same cells in your brain. The heart is the emotional brain which gives you guidance. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. This is why we say follow your heart. So much more that goes into the heart. I teach everything in the new lecture in my university. You're not fat, your gut is just bloated. Your cortisol levels are probably pretty high, which is giving you skin acne, tired all day, puffy face, and always taking naps. To get rid of this, you must remove all unnatural foods. Your gut only recognizes natural foods grown by the earth. Unnatural foods activates the defense system, which causes inflammation and mucus to be sent to this area. You don't have skin issues, you don't have body odor, you don't have bad breath. You have a toxic, rotting gut with leftover food in it. Everything outside of your body is an internal problem. If I was to encounter any issues with my body, I would go on a single fruit diet, preferably blueberries or watermelon, while taking sea moss and herbs. I'll do this for 2 weeks, and then maintain this diet while fasting 2 days a week, plus grounding daily, as well as being in the sun daily. You won't lose weight, you lose impurities. After a month, you'll gain all of these benefits. If you need to heal and you don't know what to do, the Human Health Guide will give you all the essential knowledge. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Head is heaven and heel is hell, and the bottom of the foot is called the soul. 144,000 chosen ones will go to heaven according to the Bible. 1 plus 4 and 4 is 9. 9 represents consciousness. That's why I is the 9th letter of the English alphabet, because when you say I, you're referring to your consciousness. 144,000 is a state of consciousness. That's why 666 adds up to 9, because the mark of the beast is the lower self. 66 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of consciousness: thoughts, emotions, actions. 6 is the number of physical reality. That's why the cube has 6 sides, and you're in a cube now. You can only move forward, backwards, left, right, upwards, and downs. 666 is when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all based on physical reality, cutting off your spirituality. You are the beast in your lower nature. Your consciousness does not operate in this physical reality. That's why you must think outside of the box. The body is the box. The body is the beast, the animal. You are an individual. You exist in 2 realms at once, a material external reality and a spiritual non-physical reality internally, which is the compass and the square combined, spirit and matter. Internal spiritual world projects your outer material world. Spirit is heaven, matter is hell. Reason you feel so lost is because you don't understand your nature. Understanding who you are makes you feel so much better. Freemasons use this symbol, which is the same symbol for Apple Store, and X when it's mirrored. This symbol is a compass on top and a square below. The square creates a square which has beginning and an end. The compass creates a circle which has no beginning and no end. If the compass is the circle, which means spirit, and square is the square, which is matter, this symbolizes spirit over matter, the compass over the square. Leonardo da Vinci was showing you that you are a spiritual being in a material body. You are an individual. You have a physical body and a non-physical body. The voice in your head and the emotions you feel are eternal, but your physical body will die. The spiritual brain is the mind. The spiritual heart is the soul. The brain and heart are physical manifestations of the mind and soul. The aim is to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness, to your true spirit self, so that you can be spirit over matter and not matter over spirit. They show you these symbols in plain sight. These people are highly enlightened individuals. You will never have power if you don't have knowledge. Knowledge is the true currency of this life. Use code 25 off for the next 12 hours. After 12 hours, it will be going down to 15% off. You don't need food, you need charging. There are many different ways you can charge the body, like grounding or standing next to trees. You are a biological battery. You feel hungry? This is not hunger. It's your body getting rid of waste from the colon. It's important that you fast. After 48 hours of fasting, your body starts to produce stem cells to regenerate itself. Your body will start to eat itself and kill all the bad cells. The human body is an electromagnetic technological machine. Every cell in your body conducts electricity. You need electrical food that's grown under the electric sun because you are an electrical battery. The sun's electric power is crystallized within the food. You are a light being, a hue meaning light and a man meaning manifested. You are light manifested. This is real food. You need electric food to charge your electric body. You don't need dead flesh. This is why you get charged in a court, because you're an electric battery. And when you get charged, you sit in a cell, a battery cell. This field shows sickness before your physical body is actually sick. The strength of your field has a correlation with your health. Thoughts are electric, emotions are magnetic. You need positive thoughts and emotions to strengthen this field. If you want to learn more, this book will tell you everything. You don't need. Lucifer is Venus. Lucifer in the Bible is the son of the morning, or the morning star. Just before the sunrise every morning, Venus shows up. Venus is the morning star. The 7 planets are 7 spiritual forces that create the physical universe. Saturn rules the roots. The sun rules the stem. Jupiter rules the fruit. Mercury's the messenger, the intelligence behind the tree. The moon governs the leaves. And Venus governs the beauty, the looks, and the smell of the tree. That's why the sigil of Lucifer is the visual field, because Lucifer or Venus governs the visual aspect of reality. That's why he's known as the light bearer or the false light. Because this world is the false reality, the false light. And the false light can trick you into materialism, pulling you away from your true spiritual form. Lucifer is a metaphor about your consciousness falling for the material plane. Physical world is a veil which can turn you evil, because you are not from here. The Matrix is keeping you in love with the material plane, which leaves you feeling soulless and empty inside. Stop chasing low-level pleasures and learn to transform yourself to find your power. Start your transformation today before the price increases for the university. You have 5 fingers for the 5 elements. The skull corresponds with the elements. The jaw represents the earth. Water goes on top of the earth in the mouth. Air goes through the nose, fire is light in the eyes, and spirit is the 3rd eye. The 4 physical elements are the 4 vibrational states of the ether or spirit. 5 points on the body for the 5 elements. Ether or spirit is the base of all physical matter. The 4 elements are the 4 vibrational states of the ether. It's the most important one, and that's why it's always on the top. That's why the middle finger is swearing, because they hid the ether. Satanic people turn this upside down to put spirit on the bottom, because they are materialists. They represents Saturn. This symbol is not evil. The word scared is sacred for a reason, because they've made you scared of all the sacred symbols. This symbol represents the 5 elements of creation. If you want to advance in your life, I am now doing private one-on-one consultations. If you wish to talk to me, let's go on a call. Dreams carry messages. Dreaming is a low-powered astral projection. You are leaving the physical body, the conscious mind, into the subconscious realms of the astral imagination realm. Astral plane is the screen in your mind that allows you to imagine an apple. If you see Jesus in your dream, this is not Jesus. It is your belief materializing in the 4th dimension, the imagination realm. You know when you have them dreams when people are chasing you? This is a negative aspect of your mind which is materializing itself. All of the trauma, all of the negative events that have happened are stored within your subconscious, and these are materializing itself and showing it to you in your dreams. Everything in your dream is an aspect of your own mind, therefore it is showing you messages. If you cannot control your dreams, this is your subconscious controlling the dream. You can't control your dreams because you think it's just a dream, when it's not. It's actually a whole other reality. You are a multi-dimensional consciousness. You must remove the program of it's just a dream. Before you go to sleep, consciously think and feel and believe that you will control your dream. Throughout the day, you need to be doing reality checks by pinching yourself and saying, "Am I dreaming?" This will train your subconscious mind to say this while you are dreaming, and when you pinch yourself in your dream, you will become lucid. Once you are lucid, you can then go gain knowledge and do whatever you want in the realms of the mind. Whatever you do, never look into a mirror. Jesus never existed. The Last Supper is astrology. Each body part is ruled by a zodiac. Aries the lamb rules the head, which is why he's on the head of the table. Taurus rules the neck. He has a very thick neck for Taurus the bull. The next sign is Gemini. Gemini is the two arms, the two twins. That's why his hands are up for the two twins. Next sign is Cancer the crab with pinchers. He's holding a knife for the pincher of Cancer. The next sign is Leo when the sun is powerful, radiant and summer. That's why he's showing dominance with a clenched fist and an elbow on the table. The next sign is Virgo the virgin. He's pointing that there's no Adam's apple. This is a woman of Virgo the virgin. Jesus is the sun, the light of the world, the risen savior, the Son of God. He's placed in a triangle to symbolize the sun's rays. One hand up for the daytime, one hand down for the taking away of the sun at nighttime. Libra is when the sun is balanced between summer and the winter. That's why Libra is the balanced scales, and the symbol is a half rising sun. That's why he's holding his arms out balanced. Next sign is Scorpio with this man pointing upwards. Scorpio is our reproductive sexual organs. He's pointing up because you must raise your sexual energy up to Aries. That's why Aries is an anagram for arise. They're in 4 groups of 3 because there are 3 months in each season. Luke, Mark, John and Matthew. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Jesus is the sun, which is our soul. Spring is our physical body. Summer is our spirit. Fall is our emotions, winter. Why is it the Vatican shows so many snake symbols? Even the Pope uses this. Even Alfa Romeo uses this symbol. This is why Eve gets tempted by a snake. Snakes represent sexual energy. This energy cultivates and transforms your child body into an adult, and it can transform you into a god. In order for creation, there must be destruction. Every time you release, you're giving your life force to create another life. You give a part of your soul to create another life. Your sexual energy is the power of creation. You can save it, cultivate it, and activate your kundalini, which will then activate dormant brain cells, allowing your brain to process information with more efficiency and faster. Or you can save it and redirect it into other aspects of your life. Critical thinking, manifestation, and chasing your goals. Sexual emotions are the most powerful emotions you could possibly feel, but don't let the snake eat you, because this is what stops you from reaching high states of consciousness and stops you from reaching your highest potential and creating abundance in your life. This is symbolic of giving in to our sexual urges, which make us fall from the Garden of Eden, our highest potential of human consciousness. Don't fall for the illusion of the material pleasures. We need to stop misusing the power of creation. My students are learning sexual alchemy in my university. Freemasons worship a secret god, and this is the name of him. I'm going to decode the symbolism so you can understand it. This represents God's consciousness, and it streams down to 4 sections for the 4 bodies of God: a lion, a bull, a man, and an eagle. These are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac: Taurus the bull, Leo the lion, Scorpio the eagle, Aquarius the man. You see this in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The man, the eagle, the lion, and the bull surrounding Jesus. The 4 fixed signs represent the 4 bodies of consciousness. Aquarius is an air symbol, which is the mind. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. This is God's consciousness streaming down to Yahweh. Yahweh, the name of God, means I am. God's consciousness goes to I am. I am goes into the 4 bodies of your consciousness: the body, the mind, the spirit, and emotion. Every single one of us are an extension of the divine presence of the universe. Jesus actually represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness. Stop worshipping Jesus and embody his qualities into your life so you can live like God. The church has just muddled this up and created a religion so you give away your power. The secret God of the Freemasons is the self. This is why they all focus on self-mastery to achieving high states of consciousness. Pope is opening 5 portals. These are the locations of them. Connecting the dots of these locations creates the sigil of Lucifer. This is going to blow your mind. Sigil of Lucifer is your brain's visual field with the eyes. You don't see into reality. Light enters the eyes and an image is produced in your brain. Everything outside of you is just energy. Your brain turns it into a reality you can interact with. These rituals are all to do with perception. That's why he's opening 5 doors for your 5 senses. 5 points on the body, 5 toes, 5 fingers. 5 is the portal that connects spirit with matter, consciousness interacting with the material world. The Pope is not opening spiritual portals for demons. This was all a psyop. The portal they're opening is a negative portal in your own mind. This ritual was to create fear in our minds to make us project it into the reality, because the physical world is just an externalization of our inner consciousness. By planting fear in the collective minds and projecting this reality to keep us distracted. This is what Lucifer is. Lucifer is you, your consciousness, your divine self, falling for the material tricks. Matrix. This is just another distraction to install fear into your mind. Red fruit is for energy and vitality. Purple and blue fruit is for relaxation because it's high in antioxidants. Green fruit is for the digestive system and detoxification. Orange and yellow is for the brain. Whatever feeling you have is your internal guidance system. And if you know the colors of food, you can use this for your advantage. Your pits is not meant to smell. Your breath is not meant to smell. You're not meant to have runny noses. You're not meant to have smelly farts or smelly poos. This is all unnatural food seeping through your skin. We all have a natural odor for our bodies. However, we should not be smelling, and it should not smell horrible. If you have any of these signs, you need to go on a fruit-only cleanse for at least a month and start to fast and remove all of this toxic waste within the body. If you are not removing waste from the body, it means it's accumulating within the body, and accumulated waste can turn into diseases. If you are eating 3 times a day, you should be going to the toilet 3 times a day. If not, it is accumulating and building waste within the body. Turmeric was made to hide the truth about ginger. Ginger is the original turmeric. Turmeric is a GMO. Human body is nature. GMOs like turmeric is not nature, therefore your body will not recognize it. Body only recognizes food that is produced by the earth. Every time you eat something unnatural, it causes inflammation within the body, which then weakens the organs over time. Food is specifically designed to look like the body parts it's beneficial for. This is for the stomach. Raspberries is for the blood, this is why it's red. Blueberries is for the eyes, ears is for mushrooms, tomatoes for the heart, grapes is for the lungs, and walnuts for the brain. Your body does not recognize any of these foods because they are GMO, they're not good for you. Did you know cans are laced with a BPA plastic lining? Fragrance can be up to 10,000 toxic synthetic chemicals. Plastic chopping boards put plastic in your food, and non-stick pans are coated with Teflon, which is a lifelong chemical. Toilet paper uses chlorine to bleach the paper. You could eat the most healthiest diet in the world, but if you think and feel negative, this destroys your health. The body follows the mind. The mind is the root cause of all reality. You can think your way into illness. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. Protect your mind at all costs because your life is an externalization of your mind. I've had many questions about Shilajit. I personally do not take it. If you want to learn more about health and wonder what this book is called, it's called The Human Health Guide. You can get the PDF in my bio. This man managed to prove and reveal the terrible truth that we are all being watched. He conducted a simple experiment on Google Maps and its traffic congestion feature. Simon Weckert achieved this by collecting a total of 99 phones from friends, rental companies, and family. He then placed all of these phones in a cart and walked along the roads of Germany, which had virtually no traffic. Despite the lack of traffic, his phone showed that there was heavy amounts of traffic on the roads that he was walking on. From this, Simon calculated that Google Maps calculates traffic congestion based upon the amount of phones clustered in one area. His theory turned out to be correct, as all the cell phones were signaling heavy traffic on the empty roads he was walking on. This is quite scary because who knows what data they can collect about us through these devices. Is it a coincidence the word iPhone has I within it, which means the inner self? Our phones are pretty much extensions of our minds. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Jesus never turned water into wine. This is gonna blow your mind. Jesus spoke all things to the crowd in parables. Matthew 13:34. It's a symbolic and allegorical story about you turning water into wine. Fire is masculine. Water is feminine. Masculine is intellect. Feminine is emotion. Water is symbolic for emotion. Thoughts are the language of the mind. Emotion is the language of the soul. Emotions are communication from your soul. If you are jealous of someone, this is your soul telling you where you need to be in life. Every fear you have is showing you an obstacle for you to grow, to expand into your life purpose. Water into wine, symbolic in turning negative emotions into growth and expansion, transmuting hate into love, jealousy into your reality. Jesus represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness in physical form. Jesus tells you, whatever I can do, you can do better in John 14:12. Jesus is you. Baptism is symbolic of moving from earth into water, the second stage of consciousness truth. Dunking your head in water won't do anything. Baptism happens within.